Hey, everybody. We're back with Three Men in Anime. I think episode 79 at this point. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Hooray!
That isn't counting the specials.
Yeah.
We're getting close to 100.
Yeah, it's terrifying,
I mean,
isn't
it's
it?
still going to be
I
like
don't
another
believe in
year.
it. I don't believe that. It's not real.
It's
not
gonna be
real.
like a year before we get there, but yeah. So.
Yeah, well, given the pace we do these things, yeah. So,
Yeah.
this is Peter Bowman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
That's a lie and you can't prove it. Wait.
That you're here tonight, or that I'm doing all right.
I don't know anymore. The world's a fault. The world's a sham.
So, we're going to be discussing my most recent series selection, something far more lightheaded than the world being a sham.
I
Welcome to
want
Demon
this
School.
to be real. I will sign myself over right now.
Welcome to Demon School Iruma-Kun. It's a comedy anime, fantasy comedy. Came out and started airing in 2019. So it's season 2 just started recently. Originally it was a manga, started in 2017, still running. They've done 21 chapters so far, or volumes, or whatever they call it. I forget. Volumes. That's it. Chapters are the individual issues. So it's a fantasy comedy. Wow, does it feel like an early 90s fantasy comedy.
I was going to say 2019, my ass. This came out in 1994 and you know it.
It is better animated than it would have been in 94.
But it tries really hard to look like it was.
This honestly feels like the mangaka had a trip to the US or something and just binged the shit out of Transylvania High. And came back saying, I've got this fantastic idea.
I'm just going to do nothing but watch Jim Burton movies.
Yeah.
Tim Burton, not Jim Burton.
Jim Burton's his cousin. He makes films for the asylum.
So, the basic premise of Welcome to Demon School Iruma-Kun is our hero, I think that's an appropriate term for him.
Or protagonist?
Yeah.
He's a good guy, so I'm willing to call him a hero.
I mean,
Right.
He does actively heroic things, whether he wants to or not.
Largely by accident.
He does at least one heroic thing intentionally, Eric. And it is a big damn hero moment.
All right, fair enough.
All right, is Iruma Suzuki. Iruma is he's about old enough to start high school, basically. 14, 15, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, 15, I think, is the...
I think he's 14 right before the show starts, and he's basically he's just old enough to be entering high school, basically.
Right.
He's not in high school, however. We meet him initially working on a tuna fishing boat. At 14.
Yes.
Yep.
Moving frozen tuna into loading them into the containers and such in open seas. We find out later part of the reason why, and we'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, so his boss basically asked him to put stuff away, and he goes, "Yes, okay, I'll happily help," because Iruma cannot say no to people. Iruma just wants to help people, and is basically incapable of refusing requests, especially if someone asks him very nicely and says like "please" or indicates that they really, really, really need help.
They show it in like a little thing. It's like Iruma has 3 weaknesses: people who say please, people who ask him anything, people who have anything they could do with help with, or something like that. You know. Like you get to like episode 4 and it's like, did we mention Iruma can't say no to people asking him for help? It's like, okay.
And you think you'd get really tired of that, and by the time you're about to get tired of that, they stop bringing it up over and over again.
Yeah.
Their timing on this sort of shit is astonishing. I just want to say this right now.
They literally hammer it into your head in the first 2 or 3 episodes and then leave it at that. And said, if you haven't got it by now, you never will.
And then about 15 episodes later, it comes up again, and they say, "Oh, by the way, in case you've forgotten, Iruma can't review someone, can't say no to people." It's like, oh, you bastards, that's well timed.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big storm at sea, and all the tuna come crashing out of their shells and start looking like they're gonna bounce around and basically crush Iruma. And he managed to dodge all of them because Iruma's had a tough life. And he's gotten really, really good at running away from things and dodging things. To the point where he basically dodges shit without actually thinking about it. It's instinctive.
Yeah. he has legitimate Ultra Instincts defense.
Yeah.
just a natural reflex of dodge, 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 dodge. Yeah, he is ultimate.
But
dodgeball
he's
player.
about to get hit by a tuna when it stops in midair, and a tall, elegantly dressed gentleman with a magnificent mustache,
It is a pretty good mustache.
It's a pretty
I will
damn
say
good
that.
glasses,
mustache.
and wings and devil horns, appears before him. And basically slaps a soul sign on his chest, wraps him up, and drags him off into the nether. Much to Iruma's confusion and moderate terror.
Only moderate terror, though. He's been through worse.
I mean, so he gets.
just-
Next we see him, he's being drugged through the air in what is very obviously the underworld towards a giant sort of dark, spooky mansion by this gentleman who proceeds to talk to him in a language Iruma doesn't understand. Iruma goes, "I have no idea what you're saying," and the guy looks back at him and goes, "Ugh." Casts a spell, and then Iruma can now understand everything he's saying. And he introduces himself as Sullivan, and that Iruma's parents had sold his soul to Sullivan. Now, Iruma's reaction, but my parents would never, pauses. No, wait, they'd totally do that.
They would totally do that.
Yeah.
Because Iruma's parents are, in fact, the worst.
They're double plus on good.
We later find out that they basically abused Iruma's willingness to help out and basically enable him to say no to basically...
They abused they abused the fuck out of his good nature.
Yep. To make him do everything they want him to do, including like work and bring money back so they don't have to work as much.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
To the point we never actually, at least at this point in the anime or the manga, they don't even have names. They are literally they're not important. They are his birth parents, but they are not.
They don't even have faces. They're
Yeah.
just blanks when there's
Yeah.
flashbacks to them.
So Iruma arrives at Sullivan's mansion. Well, he's basically Iruma's freaking out at this point. He's like, oh my god, my soul's been sold to the devil. What the hell? They arrive at Sullivan's mansion, but we immediately smash cuts to Iruma sitting in a chair, basically on a throne, a very big, ostentatious chair in Sullivan's living room, with Sullivan kneeling before him and saying, "Would you be my grandson?" To which Iruma reacts like, I think basically anybody would. What? But what? And Sullivan proceeds to explain that, he's, been a bachelor his whole life. He doesn't have any kids, so therefore he doesn't have any grandchildren. And he's become really jealous of his fellow older demons who talk about how cute their grandchildren are all the time. So he's decided he wants a grandkid. And, well, he went out and bought one. And so he asks if Iruma will agree to, sign, basically will agree to be his grandson, in basically a little contract thing. And basically Iruma's like, well, I can't really say no since you bought me. He's like, no, you're free to refuse. But it would be really nice of you to help me, please.
Iruma
By the way,
can't say no to me,
Sullivan,
please.
Yes, Sullivan does not know this yet. I don't think anyone knows this, actually.
No.
So, I'll say this, Sullivan might have deduced it. Sullivan is shockingly smart, despite his kind of buffoonish facade he puts on. Because he's one of those, yeah. So Iruma basically agrees, and Sullivan's, oh, that's so great, I'm so happy. It'd been terrible for you to refuse, because then I've had to, eat you. And Iruma's like, what?
I mean, yeah.
It's like...
What you do.
So, yeah. But, basically Sullivan immediately moves into doting grandfather mode.
Sullivan is this fucking whirlwind of... I won't say chaotic energy because it's all good-natured. But he is the ultimate, doting grandparent turned up to 11.
Yes.
He spends most of his time... We see this, huge, extremely tall, slender, elegant, well-trimmed, this regal, almost-looking demon lord, essentially. Around Iruma, 9 out of 10 times, he's a 2-foot-tall egg.
Yes.
Chibified Sullivan is adorable.
He's super chibified. Oh my
He's a tiny little leg.
Also, I want before we go any further, I want to give insane props to his voice actor, who's the same
Yes.
guy who is Kiryu's voice actor in the Yakuza series.
Yes.
I think he is one of the few voice actors who can pull off the swing between serious Sullivan and Sullivan the rest of the time.
And you do get that deep, serious, almost Kiryu voice.
Yeah,
in
every
here
once
at
in a while,
times.
Sullivan has to remind people that he is not just a buffoon. He just plays one on TV.
Yeah.
Every now and then he reminds everyone that yes, I am the one
Thou
that
shalt
virtually
not fuck with
that-
Sullivan.
that everyone is basically saying, yeah, Sullivan, why are you not taking the throne as the Demon King? Meh.
Yeah, I don't wanna. Sounds like work.
I think that might actually be the case. But yeah, Sullivan is So thus begins Ruler's life with Sullivan, with his new grandfather Sullivan, and Sullivan's butler Opera.
Opera is best.
Opera is the best butler mom ever. They are amazing.
Best butler, mom, dad. Opera's gender is not apparent nor important.
Yes.
To the point that I think it was this one that I was mentioning to you. When questioned, the mangaka has literally shut people down and told them to go away, asking that question about opera.
Yeah.
Which, you know, what gender is opera? Because opera is they. Opera is opera,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Opera is opera.
Yeah.
And opera is fucking amazing.
Opera is the. By the way, you'll hear us say insert character name is the best because there are so many best characters in the show.
There really is. But opera's the thing is, right, this show contains so many of the like really stereotypical archetypes that you could quite easily get really sick of really quickly. But just like the whole thing we mentioned about reminding us about Iruma's quirks, like they managed to skirt it where these characters are so on point but never get annoying or never get overbearing. Like Opera is the pinnacle of hyper competent butler.
Emotionless, hyper competent butler.
Yeah.
Except that Opera isn't actually emotionless, they just don't show it.
Yeah.
Opera's facial expression never changes.
Right.
Opera's ears tells you everything you need to know about their demeanor.
Yes. Which Iruma picks up on.
Yeah.
Because Iruma cares about people. This is Iruma's secret superpower. It's not actually a big secret. Although it confuses the hell out of a lot of demons.
Well, they're demons.
So, yeah, so Sullivan basically, Iruma wakes up the next morning in this wonderful, huge, comfy bed. And it's like, oh, this wasn't actually a dream. Huh. And, Sullivan was in, Iruma-Kun! It's like, oh my god. And basically, it's like, yeah, so, like, I've heard from your parents, before, the whole thing, that you never got to go to school, so I've enrolled you in demon school. What?
And he's going full out balls to the wall, like I said, doting granddad. brand new uniform. We're getting a family photo. I'm gonna drive you to school.
Before we get to that though, there's the beautiful moment of him saying, "Yeah, by the way, don't let anyone at school know you're human, otherwise they'll eat you." So to make sure since you do smell human, dumps a vat of liquid over his head. Now you smell like a demon. What? And they go off to school. Sullivan and Opera take him off to school, and so Ruma's like, okay, if they find out I'm human, they'll eat me. I gotta make sure I do not stand out at all. Okay, so we're going to the big assembly thing. Cool. All right, well, this is actually kind of exciting. I'm in like an assembly room, and everybody seems reasonably cool. Okay. This is bad. Oh, it's time to sing the school theme, the school song. Okay, what is that? Oh my God, the school song. It goes about how awesome it is to be a demon, and
our food.
It's all about how awesome it is to be a demon and how humans are demon food.
Yep. and slaughter them and chase them down and hunt them and
Iruma's sitting there going,
butcher them. And
Iruma's like,
I mean, I'm on board for this. Just letting you guys know.
well, we do find out this is a little bit off later. It's traditional, the song.
Yeah.
Let's just say Demon Society has changed a lot since way back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, just to jump ahead a little bit, but it's implied later that, the whole the human demon worlds have been separate for so long that a lot of the younger demons don't even know that humans exist.
They're fairy tales.
They're fairy tales. It's like us believing in the Feywild and all that kind of stuff. It's like humans are thinking, what would we do with them? They don't actively eat humans. The old ways they did.
Yep.
But they don't. They, like I say, 99.9% of them have never even seen a human.
And the old ways aren't really followed anymore. They're demons are a lot less awful,
Needlessly destructive.
Yeah. I mean, they're still aggressive and prideful and all the things you expect from a demon, but they're like, you could see, like, from given what the ways that their demon side has changed, you could see how Iruma could survive here.
Yeah,
in theory. So yeah. It moves on, and we're introduced to the first of the most important class of Iruma's classmates, Alice Asmodeus.
Oh dear.
Alice Asmodeus is the highest-ranking incoming student into the school. Best grades of anybody that's just joined. He is, dear Lord, he is insanely Bishonen, and he can rock pink like nobody else can.
He's also your typical, like, at least when they introduce him, he's like Peter said, he's the atypical, like, top of the class. He walks in like fucking Kaiba.
Yeah.
Like, he owns everything he sees. It's kind of situation.
Yep.
It's like,
he's that arrogant rich kid in every fucking school drama that you've ever seen.
Yes.
Because he is an arrogant rich kid.
And he's absolutely going to be the main antagonist and foil, and
even has tremendous control over fire magic. He's like terrifying. Clearly, I'm the most terrifying entity here. Haha.
Right. And so he goes up to the thing, and then they say, okay, and we also have an incoming honor student, who is in fact the chairman of the school, Sullivan.
Yep.
Because of course the chair demon is Sullivan. His grandson, Iruma.
It's like, Iruma's just like this. Like, he's sat down. They've just finished a school song. He's like, "Oh my god, I need to just get on with this and don't stand out."
And then Alice shows up.
Iruma-Kun.
But Asmodeus shows up, and he's like, "Oh my god, there's no way I can stand out with him around. Perfect." At which point, yes, Iruma-Kun, come on up.
looks up on stage and Grandpa's there. He's like, "Oh God, no, why?"
And Harry's like, "Yeah, so my grandson is the honor student. Here's a photo of him that I took with him this morning. Isn't he cute?" And we're gonna have him come and give the freshman address to the class, unlike the usual tradition where it's the top student coming in. So Iruma goes up.
Asmodeus is already pissed off at that.
Yeah. So Iruma goes up on stage. And normally I don't like recapping the first episode quite this detailed, but it's really important that we do so, honestly.
Yeah.
So he goes up on stage and has no idea what to say, but Grandpa's left the photo behind, and on the back he wrote a note to Iruma, which is, if you're panicking, just read this out, you'll be fine. And Iruma looks down and is like, okay, there's something, I think I can, thanks to Grandpa's spell, I can actually read this and read it out loud. And he reads through it, and everyone in the school is going, oh my god, what is he? Oh my god! And like the teachers are freaking out. And he finishes it, and like there's a little sort of poof of magical effects, and one of the teachers walks up and is like, "Why?" And the students all go erupt in cheers, and Iruma's like, "What just happened?" And the teacher's like, "How? Why? Why would you read one of the forbidden spells like that? Oh my god!" Why? What does it do? Well, honestly, it just means that for the rest of the day you can't trip and fall. Oh.
Why is that forbidden?
Fucked it up? Your head would have exploded.
Yeah, because if you'd have mispronounced it even slightly, you'd have detonated.
And also, the teacher's then like, by the way, awesome, dude. Technically against the rules, but awesome.
But that's even why the teachers didn't interrupt him and stop him, because if they fucked him up and he missed,
He'd have exploded.
Boom.
It's very clever, actually. So after the assembly, Asmodeus is just incensed and is like, "How dare you steal my thunder? I challenge you to a duel." And Iruma's like, but what? But what?" And Asmodeus starts opening up with fire magic on him, and Iruma just dodges everything because that's what Iruma does. And we had a 20 minutes later. As it's like, and all the students watching are like, "He hasn't hit him once, but he hasn't. But Iruma's never attacked." And, Iruma's like, "Well, that's because I have no offensive power whatsoever." And they're like, "He must not think Asmodeus is worth bothering to attack." And Asmodeus is like, "How dare you?" And Iruma's like, "No, that's not what it is at all. No. It's not that at all. There's nothing I could do that would hurt." And Asmodeus is like, "Oh my God, he's insulting me. So I'll fight you in hand-to-hand combat." Throws up the fire sword, comes charging at him, and Iruma dodges and uses his instinctive judo to judo throw him.
Well, what it is, he dodges and then realizes that.
Well, he does a judo throw first. It is a straight up judo throw, actually, which causes him to lose balance, charging into the crowd where he's about to hit one of the girls in the crowd.
All right, yeah.
So Iruma runs up, grabs him around the waist so he doesn't hurt the girl, loses balance, starts tripping, and then the spell kicks in and turns it into a German suplex.
Yep, that's right. Yes.
His feet plant on the floor, so his body just turns into a fucking perfect bridged German. It's like, what?
Drops Asmodeus on his head, knocking him clean out. And it's like, "Oh my God!"
And
front page of the school paper.
Yep. Knocking down.
Interestingly, the girl that he saved ends up spending the rest of this series trying to chase him down to ask him out and always missing him.
Oh.
And she's just adorably earnest in it, but just cannot, the fates are not on her side.
No. No, they really, really aren't. She ends up crushing on someone else too, the fates are not on her side on that one either.
Yeah. But she has a very supportive friend who is this chubby dragon girl, and she's great.
Oh, she's great, yeah. There are a lot of really great minor characters, but Duani in the chat points out there's a point here about that he does not have the ability to use magic yet at this point. The spell still works.
Yeah.
Because Sullivan is a cheating bastard. So, yeah, Iruma is sort of chilling the... by the way, there's a photo on the second part of the front page of the school paper is a picture of a big burly student demon who challenged the teacher to a duel, and they're basically labelling him a goddamn idiot, basically.
You actually see that playing out as Aruma's walking into the thing. He's like, you just hear this background character shout, "You're a teacher, aren't you?" "Yes." "Then I challenge you to a duel." "You're one of those idiots." Okay.
Yes.
I will say the writing in this with those little off the cuff one-liners and backhanded comments that get snuck into this are amazing.
They are.
Whether it's intentional or whether it's the delivery of the cast.
I think it may be a little bit of B.
Yeah. The number of times it'll be like, "Let's do this." No. Complete shutdown, sort of. Almost not in character, just a case of just like a random one line done. Yep. I love those little lines.
Yeah, they're great. So yeah, Iruma is sort of standing in his grandfather's office, sort of freaking out because of all of this, and his grandfather's like, "I think today's going really well, don't you?" And Iruma's like, "Ah." At which point, Asmodeus shows up, and he's like, Iruma's like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And Asmodeus walks in, drops to his knees, and swears fealty to Iruma. Because, "Oh my God, you clean my clock perfectly. You're awesome. I want to serve you." Because you're clearly going to take over the school.
And using exactly enough force to achieve your ends. Just the elegance of it. I'm on board. Whatever you want to do, I'm there.
And Iruma's like, "But what?" Thus begins one of the best buddy friendships I have seen in a comedy anime in a long time.
Yeah.
Iruma and Az are just I adore the two of them.
Az is a fantastic straight man for
oh my God, he is.
for the hurricane that's coming next.
Man, and honestly, Like, I could watch Az and Clara just do shit in the background all day.
Absolutely.
We haven't gotten to Clara yet, who is probably the pinnacle of writing in this show. Clara's... I'm not sure how they did it with Clara.
Yeah. So So next up we have they learn how to summon their familiars, and Az of course summons a cool fire dragon and such. And Irma's like, well, okay, and they're going through all this description of it. It's like you draw a magic circle with blood in a circle around here. You do an incantation. You've got a little name on. You've got all this other stuff. You light it on fire. You do the thing, and it'll summon a familiar spirit.
It requires a glyph to power it. You'll use mine because it's available, and none of you have matured enough to develop your own yet.
Also, it's a way to make sure they're not cheating.
Yeah. And it means you're basically signing a contract demon to demon.
Right.
That's a very important part.
Yes. So yes, and you read through all this, and the first time I watched it, I think it happened to both of you guys too, is, wow, that seems a lot like sort of your classic demon summoning ritual. And then the narrator proceeds to point out this is very similar to the classic demon summoning ritual for humans.
Yeah.
And Iruma's not a demon. So he gets up there, and the teacher, who's the teacher who's running this, Caligos, who is also amazing, and is voiced by the guy who voices motherfucking Jotaro Joestar.
Yeah.
Oh my god, his voice is amazing.
Caligo, again, the writing of this, like, he's Snape.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
He is Snape, but he comes across as the unforgiving, harsh, exactly as you'd expect from a demon teacher. He's this, malevolent, powerful, evil spirit bastard that, hell, when you were a student at school, that's, there's always that one teacher that you thought was exactly like that. Why are you a teacher? You hate children. And it's like, no,
honestly, I just got the impression that this is just the guy with the tenure who's just sick of everyone's shit.
Yes.
That's what I got from this guy.
But you realize with him, after not all that long, he's actually a very dedicated teacher and an educator. He's just has no room for any fucking tomfoolery.
He's sick of everyone's shit.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for a long time.
And
I'm done. Fuck your politics. Fuck your whinging. Just do it. I know you can.
He's also especially sick of the chair demon.
Yeah.
Because he's a goofball. It's not a lack of respect. It's just he's too much nonsense.
See, if Sullivan would just take shit seriously, we'd get more shit done. Sullivan should be more in charge if he actually gave a shit. Ah! But yes, so yeah, Iruma goes up, the last one to go up, does the thing, and Caligos is like, he's looking for an excuse to get rid of Iruma because Iruma is basically everything he hates. Disruptive, not serious. This is at least what it seems like to him. He's Sullivan's grandson, and and he just doesn't something about Iruma just feels wrong. And then thing goes off, and you see him looking like that. The spell looks wrong, and then why is there a portal opening up under my feet? And what? Above my head? What? Whop! Gets pulled through partially the portal, and there's a beautiful moment of just like half of Caligos' body sticking out of the portal in front of Iruma, his legs sticking at the other end. Blink, blink, blink. The people look at each other. Ah!
Yes, it turns out a human using a summoning ritual on a demon's personal mark.
It's a demon summoning ritual for a human, and it had a name on there already provided.
Yeah,
on there, and the glyph acts is a true name, so you know that.
So he's like, okay, yeah. Iruma goes through and he's like, help me get out of this. And Iruma's like, yeah, no problem, no problem. Goes through, grabs his legs, starts pulling. And Kyle's like, no, don't pull down, you idiot. Don't pull down like that. You'll tear me in half. Oh, so I'll just push you up then. Wait, no, poof, goes up to the portal, poof.
Turns into a Furby.
Turns basically a Furby with wings and a little tiny beak. And little beady eyes. His familiar form is goddamn adorable. And he basically sits there flapping. He's like, what? Looks around, looks at the little stubby wing things. What? I'm going to kill you! At which point the familiar binding sort of loyalty thing kicks in and he gets zapped by a lightning bolt.
Familiars can't speak ill or do harm to their owners.
This only applies when he's in familiar form, by the way.
Yes.
So yes, he's kind of annoyed.
The thing is, it's implied they mentioned that obviously what they're doing here, as well as is also ranking the students, and this is going to be used towards their placing.
Yep.
And
the better and more powerful your familiar, the better, the more effective you are. You're more powerful you are as a demon. So,
as we've seen at this point, Asmodeus got the most impressive one. It was like a winged serpent, dragon thing.
Yeah.
Mm. And then, like I say, Iruma summons essentially a greater demon. his own teacher.
Yeah, I believe Az is technically a Gorgon snake, is what they call it. It is a winged, fire-breathing snake.
Yeah.
That is what with white scales and pink and red trim, perfectly matching Asmodeus' favorite color scheme on his outfit.
Yeah.
Because of course his familiar matches his outfit. It'd be gauche if it didn't. I love Az so much. So we get a little bit more of Az and Ruma hanging out, because classes haven't fully started yet. This is sort of the early parts of the thing. Orientation, basically, and they're basically going to get their textbooks when they run into a short green-haired girl wearing slippers with eyes on them and very pointy teeth, diving into a stack of boxes to make them go scattering everywhere, and then restacking them so you can do it again.
She's simple. Yeah. Clara is a simple creature.
We're now introduced to Clara Valak. She is a gremlin. She is when Gav was saying chaotic energy earlier, that Sullivan doesn't have chaotic energy. Clara is chaotic energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clara is. So Clara is that comedic main character that almost always just you find funny and amusing in the first 2 or 3 episodes, and just grates on your nerves afterwards. The kind that just you just wish they just throw in the wood chipper or use less. This does not happen with Clara.
No,
Clara remains fun and entertaining and kind of heartwarming and awesome the entire time. This is a feat I thought impossible.
I think it ties entirely to the heartwarming part of it.
Mm.
Clara, it's because Clara is at her core a very likable young girl. Very likable girl. Mm-hmm. She is a complete sweetheart. She cares about her friends. She generally wants to just have fun and hang out with her friends and just be generally a good, happy person. She comes from a loving family. What? The scenes with her family are amazing.
They're always any scene with her family almost always turns into a musical at some point.
Yes, it does.
We haven't met her father yet.
Nope.
But I think her older brother.
Nope.
But it's her mom, her 2 younger brothers, and the 2 babies.
Yep.
In the house that we always meet, and that is an absolute madhouse.
It is.
There's even one point they point out, it's because Clara is such a ball of energy during the day, when she sleeps, she's perfectly still. And you just see this pile of fucking, bodies on the floor in her house. It's her and all her siblings just spark out asleep.
Yep.
But whenever you...
Clara can... Everyone except Iruma has some sort of magical specialty. Clara can recreate any object she's seen previously out of her pockets.
Yep.
Any object. Generally uses this to create snacks and toys, and occasionally a vending machine to hit people with.
Oh my god. So yeah, the big thing about Clara when we first meet her, and this is actually an important bit about her character arc, and is she meets Iruma and she bribes Iruma and asks Iruma to play with her, and Iruma can't say no. and basically rubs. And Az like it wants nothing to do with her because she's a weirdo, and she'll ruin Ruma's reputation. Like he doesn't care about his reputation, but Ruma's reputation that'd be terrible, and Ruma wants to play with her. You should play with this too. What? But okay, right, sure. If that's what Iruma wants to do,
Whatever, dude.
I want to hang out and do stuff.
Joe is on board, so guess I'm on board.
But it's also okay. Like there's the whole sort of yes, I saw loyalty to him, but it's also there's a real implication of like he's very quickly become friends with Iruma. Like it's been very quick, and it's like you know what? I want to hang out with Iruma and do stuff with Iruma. So fine, I will put up with Valak. As much as going to try my patience, learning patience is probably a good thing. This is trying my patience. But they get worn out, and Clara basically proceeds to produce snacks for them from her pockets, and they're like, and then a trio of other demons show up who are Clara's other friends, air quotes. And basically they ask her for snacks, she gives them to them, say, thank you, Clara, and wander off. And we find out later that basically they agree to hang out with Clara because she can provide them snacks and stuff, and she'll do that, and they just sort of like will do things like play hide and go seek and have her count to 5 million and run off.
Yeah. Or they'll come around and ask for snacks and drinks, and then say, "Oh, we don't have time today, but we'll catch you later, okay?"
Yep.
And it's like, "Oh yeah, okay." And she's this poor girl. She's so desperate for friendship that she takes it. She knows exactly what they're doing.
She knows exactly what's going on. She's overheard them like talking shit about her behind her back. Also,
yeah,
like she knows what's happening, but she just really wants people to hang out with.
She's been very lonely because she knows she's considered a weirdo and that no one wants to hang out with her. And so, like, she basically, knows this, and she overhears him saying that Iruma will get sick of her eventually, and ditch her, and such, or else, he'll basically either that or he'll just hang out with her. He'll put up with her because she's giving him snacks. He'll start doing what they're doing. And so she basically, wants to play with Iruma, and is like, yeah, I need a little bit of a break, and she's like, I could give you snacks, and here's my favorite toys. And Iruma's like, no, you don't have to do that, and she like starts breaking down. And Iruma's like, no. You don't have to give me stuff to make me want to play with you. I want to play with you. I just need to rest a little bit first. And she's like, wait, you want to hang out with me? Yeah, you're my friend. It doesn't say that yet. That's
yeah. You're fun to hang out with. I enjoy our games. It's just I'm exhausted. You are a fucking dynamo. Give me 20 minutes.
But she finally gets to the realization that like Iruma is genuine and doesn't want to hang around with her for what she can give him. He wants to hang around because she wants to hang around with her.
Yeah.
She's actually found a friend.
And so the best thing is the three come up at this point, like, and like asking for drinks, and she's like, okay, yeah, I'll give it to you. Like, you don't have to do it. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna give them exactly what they asked for. Give them all the drinks.
She proceeds to produce the vending machine and hurls it at them.
Yeah. Best thing is, it lands. She's even got a fucking line where it's like it lands on top of them, all three of them, and she's like, "There you go. If you put some money in that, you can have all the drinks you want." It's like, oh,
I love Clara. That moment when she said that was the moment I was like, okay, no, she is amazing.
Yes.
She went from being funny to an actual fucking character.
Yeah. And as much as like Iruma's like the glue that holds the trio together, like I'm gonna be honest, like Clara and Az are clearly the best friends of the group. Like those two are always hanging out with each other, are constantly getting on each other's nerves in the most hilarious ways.
Yes.
Yeah, just never tell them.
Oh no, that group falls apart with that group wouldn't fall apart without any of them, but it's very clear that they all bring something very important to the group.
Yes.
It's just that Clara tends to be the one that causes a lot of the trouble. Like, for example, with the fucking shopkeeper.
Yeah.
She's not allowed within 10 yards of his shop because anything she can see, she can reproduce.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't need to buy it anymore.
I mean, honestly, I kind of think everyone kind of gets into shit a roughly equal amount of times. Like, as his pride constantly causes shit, Iruma's inability to say no and utter ignorance of societal norms gets him into shit all the time. And Clara as well, a sphere of pure chaos. So,
also, one tip: any scene where you know Clara is in the room, keep an eye on the background
Yeah, she'll be doing something hilarious.
at all times.
She is the goddamn best. So yeah.
One of the other important side characters we meet later on is Saburo, who's the giant guy who is challenging a teacher early on. Saburo is like your classic like big guy antagonist. I will conquer everything and become the Demon King. Behold my glory. And it's just like the giant like big guy, loudmouth big guy, the big dumb American.
Yeah.
Stereotype. That's Saburo. Clara and Saburo become best friends.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Aha! I have conquered Mount Sabro! She likes to climb him.
Because he's like 8 feet tall.
And he's perfectly fine with it. You'll see him like at times doing bicep curls with her on his arm or something like just because.
Reading while she's like having just climbed him sitting on the shoulder going, what you reading?
We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so the next bit, the important bit that happens is that students are assigned to their homeroom classes basically. So the teachers decide, and Iruma and Az and Clara all end up in the class for misfits. Which, is appropriate for Clara, and probably for Iruma. And, Sullivan
It's
is not...
appropriate for Az, too. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Anyone that bishy deserves to be in the misfit class.
He's overly... I mean, he would probably... Like, if you look at the rest of the classes, he would stand out, again, in any other class as well. He'd be a disruptive force because he'd try and take over the class, basically.
Yeah, kind of. It's appropriate. Also, there's zero chance that Sullivan would separate Iruma and Az. Like, there's no way. It's like, no. That is my grandson's, compatriot. There's no way I'm separating the two of them. And when he finds out about Clara, okay, that her too. Yeah, so
There's the race to determine your rank.
Yes, we'll get to that. I want to get to that in 1 second because I want to mention the bit where they walk into the classroom. The door's been booby-trapped by the other students.
Oh,
Right.
Sabro, you maniac.
And so, like, knives and stuff are thrown, and Ruma dodges them all. And they're all like, wow, not a single one hit him. And one of the guys, this guy's like, yep, pay up, everybody. Wait, you were betting on that? Yup. Yeah, the guy before you was the exact opposite. And you see Sabro's like, you bothered dodging? You weakling. As he proceeds to pulling knives out of his biceps.
Why would I do something as cowardly as dodging? He's pulling swords and shit out of his chest. So, what? Sabro is a maniac, and to be fair, you can see where the misfit class gets its name because this is an eclectic bunch, shall we say?
Oh yeah. So Sabro is, he seems like the big dumb jock who's overly aggressive and will pick fights with everybody. So that's why he's clearly here.
Yeah.
There's Caroli, who is this little white-haired ice demon girl who is painfully shy and like just can't fit in anywhere. There's Jazz, who is a kleptomaniac.
It's not even that. It's just that he's a swindler.
Yeah, and a thief.
Yeah.
But every now and then he'll walk past people and look, oh, that's what I stole.
He's like, did you look at that? Yeah, it's coins.
There's Lyde, who's always playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
Elisabetta, who's she's pretty clearly part succubus.
At least, yeah. She's this tall, almost Amazonian sort of build. Not muscular, but like she's just tall and broad, much bigger than everyone else except for Sabro.
She's the second tallest person in class. Maybe
Yeah.
third. She might be slightly shorter than Az. But yeah, she's she's the class's sort of statuesque beauty, and
Yeah.
she's a little I'm not she's very clearly sort of not your typical sort of hot-blooded demon in any way, shape, or form. She's too much of a sweetheart, honestly.
Yeah.
She's just laid back. She just pretty much just hangs out and chills.
Yeah.
Like
there's Kamui, the owl demon, the resident Mineta,
right.
though much less annoying. Mostly because he's used far less.
Yeah, he's the class horn dog. Every class has one. This one just happens to be an owl.
I wouldn't say he's used less. It's more that his advances are at least a little bit more respectful than Mineta.
Yeah, this is also true. He's
never made reference to a woman's menstrual cycle yet. For example.
I think he's perfectly aware that most of the demon women he's attracted to could flay him alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is great once.
Yep. There's Pissaro, who is a demon who rides on a cloud and is usually napping.
Yep.
Goemon, who is a big furry demon with a samurai sword, and
he's a weeb.
He's a weeb.
He's a class weeb.
Yeah. And
it's
Schneider.
A show and they have a weeb.
And Schneider, the lion-headed dude who fairly bright, but very fond of speaking like in philosophical like koans and such.
Yeah.
He's weird.
A little bit.
I like him, but he's
Honestly, he was one of the most background of background characters.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's just got an interesting look, so you notice him basically.
He also his lines are always like, "What the hell is he?" That actually makes sense, but why would you say it that way? That's the other thing I do want to mention that Eric pointed out when we were sort of early on. We were talking about the animation's not great, but holy crap, their crowd scenes. Every character in the crowd is distinctive.
Yeah.
Like they do not use the copy paste or just here's a bunch of CG guys in the back. No, they're all individually designed. Like you will see characters like whose only job is to show up in different crowd scenes. Crowd scenes.
Yep.
Like you will start recognizing, oh hey, it's that furry green dude that shows up at every crowd scene, and he's in a different spot every time.
Yep. And then the teacher walks in, and of course it's Caligos.
Of course.
And the trap goes off, and he incinerates all the blades. He's like, yeah, okay. I am not putting up with any shenanigans. Sit down. Shut up. I'm going to call roll now. At which point he just said, "There, okay. Now the other half of the testing to see what rank you start out at is a race. You're going to go from point A to over there through this canyon thing. There are two routes you could take. There's a longer, safer path, and the shorter path that will certainly get you killed. Do what you want. I'll see you at the finish line." Everyone extends their wings, takes off. Iruma can't fly, and Caligos like, dude, kicks him off the cliffs. Just get flying, and then teleports away.
Yeah, he's managed to pass it off with those around him by Az assumes it's so he can strengthen his legs and not become lazy and rely on flight. So he always walks to school. But yeah, every demon could just spontaneously sprout wings and fly, and obviously Iruma can't.
Right,
because he's human. So shenanigans ensue. Saburo, of course, takes the dangerous path.
Down, yeah, because that's what the Demon King would do.
Yep. Az just basically bursts on ahead at top speed because he's Az, and Clara basically hitches a ride.
Yeah, she's right on his back.
Much to Az's annoyance.
He doesn't even notice until he gets almost to the end. He's like, "What are you doing there?"
What are you doing here? I was figuring I'd just ride you. Not that way. I'm far too pure, and I've never heard of this sex thing. Clara is honestly has never heard of this sex thing. Like
I'm not sure about that. She's fairly pure, but she is a demon.
She's a teenage girl from a very large family. She knows how the sex thing works.
And later on, it becomes very it is very clear later on that she's developed a thing for Iruma.
Not
And
sure. I think it's just she doesn't like the idea of him like eventually leaving her to go be friends with this other chick. So she's like,
the
"I
face
think
she
I'm
says,
gonna
the face she says,
seduce him."
the face she gives him at the end of that episode, I think indicates that she does have feelings for him, of some
Yeah, I
sort.
get, maybe.
Also, I am 100% certain Az has a crush on Iruma.
Oh, absolutely. He
Absolutely.
looking for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we find out later Az's mom is a succubus,
Yeah.
and everything's like, oh, everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
And it's very clear she knows Az has a crush on Iruma, and it's very much like, oh, that's the guy. That's the demon you have the hots for. Cool. Yeah, he's pretty cute. I can see why you'd like him.
I'm totally going to choose the two of you now.
Yes.
Mom, why are you trying to seduce my friend? Well, I'm a succubus, and I'm a succubus.
It's what I do.
But I'm not actually trying to seduce him. And yeah, you got a thing for him, don't you? What?
Shut up, Mom.
It's one of Alistair's relationship with his mom is great. It only pops up for like a 5-minute skit, but the build up to it is amazing.
Yeah.
It's the school the class school festival thing where the parents show up for parent day, and like, so Az, your mom coming? So your parents coming? My mother is not. My mother's not coming. Well, won't she want to come? She will be stopped. And we later find the reason is entirely because he is petrified of her embarrassing him, because he knows she'll embarrass him, because that's what she does. Because she's a succubus, she likes teasing him. It is also very clear she cares very much for her son.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's absolutely the typical mom.
Yes. But it's Az, and so of course he takes things very seriously. Yeah, so the race happens. Iruma basically plummets off a cliff and lands in the back of something that flies, and that ends up carrying him into the dangerous path, because of course.
Yeah.
And Saburo runs into the Guardian of the Dangerous Path and is getting his ass kicked. Because Saburo's like, well, yeah, I'm a badass. I can totally take. Oh, I cannot take this. Well, this is a fitting end for a would-be Demon King. But Iruma gets dropped off from the Guardian's nest, and heals the Guardian's kid, because apparently human blood can heal demons. And the kid basically, oh, you want to go to this place? Sure, I'll carry you there, because you helped me, because you've been nice and helpful. And Iruma's like, okay, cool, thank you. It doesn't say it out loud. It's through your
It's implied.
Yeah, it's implied. It's also just like, it's clearly like a beast type of thing.
Yep. But yeah, it flies along and it flies up to its parent, who's about to murder Saburo, and Iruma's like, well, no, leaps in the way, and like the Guardian's like about to smite Iruma, and its kid says, no, don't do that. He helped. It's like the Guardian's like, what? Oh, okay. My kid doesn't want me to
Give him
murder
a
you.
ride.
But
Oh,
to the point,
Everybody gets a ride to the end.
all Sabro sees at this point, though, is this beast charging and Iruma standing in front of him with his arms spread wide. Because Sabro is like about to get killed.
Yep.
He's bitten off more than he can chew, as usual, and he's about to get his ass handed to him.
Yep. But yeah, so he basically eventually asks Iruma, why did you? And Iruma's like, it just seemed like the right thing to do, kinda. I just couldn't let you get squashed like that. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why. And Saburo's like, fuck. Alright, he's
Fine, you're my rival. We're now going to be best rivals. Do you mean best friends? No, best rivals.
what is this friends thing? Is it a sandwich? Can you eat it? Because most demons don't know what a friend is. It's not a word they know. Sullivan knows what it is. Because Sullivan actually asked Iruma one friend, so have you made any friends? And Iruma's like, I don't think demons know what those are. But yeah,
Usually, Iruma does end up adding it to everyone's vocabulary.
yes.
Yeah.
Because he asks, if Clara and Az wanted to be were his friends, and they're like, what is a friend? And he's like, oh. Or proceeds to explain it. They're like, oh, so it's kind of like, comrades, but like more friendly and cooler, and like, oh, okay, well, yeah, dude, that's
allies,
awesome.
But like, without the expectation of reciprocation or okay, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
that sounds awesome. Yeah, we're your friends. That's awesome. I mean, I'm your friend and Claire's your friend, and I guess technically, yeah, Claire and I are totally not actually friends. Nope.
No.
We obviously
I
hate
am
each
number
other.
one.
That's why we spend
She is number
all
two.
the time we're not hanging out with you, hanging out with each other.
It's very, very clear that the two of them actually do, like, deep down, like, yeah, no, like, yeah. If something bad was happening to one of the other one, they'd be like, no, you do not fuck with her. No,
you leave as alone. I will destroy you. They, as Peter once put it, they're the definition of vitriolic besties.
Yes, they are. Oh my god, they are such. Oh my god, it's amazing. I love the two of them. They are such a great friend trio. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The next major character we're introduced to, but yeah, so Saburo basically immediately is like, "Yep, Iruma's now my best rival," and yeah, Clara, yeah, you're cool. What does everyone complain about Clara? She's harmless and fun.
Fun and harmless. Why don't people like Clara?
There is.
But she climbs all over you. She weighs nothing.
Yeah, but she like weighs 30 pounds, like soaking wet, and always has something going on. Always.
The important part, there is something important that happens at the end of the race, though, and essentially what it is, they've been going through the whole ranking. This is to rank them all up, and once they've finished, they have to. Essentially, it's kind of like it's a bird with a pouch.
Yes.
A weird thing. They have to put their hand in the pouch, and they will pull out a small medallion, which basically declares their rank. And there's this whole set of 10 ranks that they've got to go through.
Yep.
To their skill and ability and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And they're going through, and they're like, okay, everyone's. I think ours is the highest rank in the class.
Yeah, he is. But 4. He comes in at 4. Claire's actually at 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wait, what? Claire's like number 2 in the class.
Yeah, just the bit where Clara reaches in, pulls out number 3, immediately turns to as kneel before me. I'm a higher rank than you. Kneel.
Yeah, just kneel. Oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, so yeah, Iruma, of course.
Saburo and Iruma both end up being the bottom rank because I don't know how to judge you guys. You're idiots.
Well, yeah. So Saburo reaches in, pulls out a 1.
Idiot.
You came in dead last, but you did come back riding the beast of the fucking canyon.
So Saburo gets a 1. Iruma reaches in and gets a ring.
Yeah.
Which possesses a spirit that drains magic and screams and does horrible things. And oh my god, Sullivan shows up and basically, feeds it enough magic energy to put it to sleep. Okay, there we go. Az basically leaps away to try to stop it from hurting people, and it chomps his head and he falls unconscious. He's like, All
my juice is gone.
Yeah. It's almost like this is a kind of ring that'd be really dangerous for an actual demon to wear.
Yeah.
Somebody with actual magic.
Unless you've got lots of it.
Yep.
Just saying. And so Caligos is like, okay, well, we got to rank you somehow. Yeah, you're rank 1.
Yeah, you're the bomb. I mean, you've survived the toughest part of the course. You've thrown off the entire system when it came to pulling this fucking ring out, and you've summoned me as your personal familiar.
Well, you didn't summon a familiar. You summoned a demon instead. You came in last in the race, and basically all this clash. The fact is like, yeah, we really can't rank you. The system can't rank you properly. Therefore, we put you at 1.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny thing: is this is the
you killed it in the most spectacular manner, most spectacular, impressive manner possible. but you still failed.
So this is in many ways, this is the classic. The system can't properly rank this guy in your Magic School series. Therefore, he starts at the bottom. In fact, he's really powerful. Except Ruma's not.
No.
He is in fact
literally just a dude.
He is in fact close. It is closer to being accurately ranked than this has ever been. He really should be ranked 0. I love that it takes that trope and throws it on its head and stomps on it. It's the best.
Yeah. It's like it's very impressive the manner in which you failed, but you still failed, and I can't tell how strong you were. So we're gonna start at 1. If you're any good, you'll rise up quick enough.
I love this. It's so good. Of course, Asmodeus is completely livid that they dared rank Iruma below 10. Like, what?
Yeah.
How dare you? It's like, no, As, it's okay. It's okay, As. Are you sure, Iruma? Yeah. I'm certain.
No one's getting ranked 10 right off the bat.
Well, then he should be ranked 5. He should be ranked above me at least. As, it's okay. Are you sure? I'm sure. It's okay. If you insist. So yeah, that's where we get to there. The next major character we meet is Ameri Azazel. She is the student class president. She's the student council president. Sorry. She is gigantic. She is very tall. When Gav described what's her name, Elisabetta as Amazonian. Ameri is Amazonian.
Yeah.
She is built like Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, it's implied that her genus, I suppose, of demon is quite tall because her father's even taller than her.
Yeah.
They're not muscular built as such, but they are.
She's fairly muscular.
Yeah, it's more that her scale though. She's in scale with herself. She's not. She's built like a
superheroine.
Yeah.
She's built like Wonder Woman. I'm like not joking.
Yeah.
That is clearly the template they were working.
Yeah. So she's very tall, broad-shouldered, fairly muscular, very busty, with long flowing locks of red hair, and oh my God, she's adorable. I mean, she is, like for a lot of people, she comes off as like the imperious student council leader, but like, it becomes very clear she really gives a shit about the school, like legitimately. Yeah. She cares about the students. She wants the school to be a place where students can come and learn to be proper good demons by the new order and such, and to learn and progress in good ways and have a good school life.
She also smashes through the Sundari arc so fast she gives herself whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we find out we discover her when she's noticed Iruma and has come to the realization I don't think he's a demon. I think he might be human, because she's aware of humans because her dad runs the border crossing guard between the human world and the demon world. So she's like,
her dad basically runs slightly less evil ice.
Yes. And she's read the forbidden texts. A gigantic library. Well, and I say read loosely. She looked through them. She can't read human. But there is a giant collection of shoujo manga.
She's gone through and read and looked at the pictures and kind of got this idea of what's going on, but she has no actual clue of the actual premise.
But she's very clearly picked up on the tropes of the shoujo romance tropes of running to the guy, all the stuff, oh my God, I'm sorry, did I hurt you, etc., etc. And the best part is we see her going out to look for Iruma, and Iruma running down the hallway, and he's like, oh, they're gonna run into each other. Nope, psych, he's out in the roof to help the janitors.
Yeah.
The next time they do in the hallway is when that happens.
But the thing is, she misunderstands it as human magic.
Right.
Mm.
She thinks it's like the bumping into each other is how they transfer a spell, or to try and infatuate. And
it's
all
some ritual type thing.
Yeah, and get people under control. And
so she basically, he basically is like, oh my God, are you all right? Reaches out to her to help her back up, and she's like, no, grabs his arms to like push him away, and he like just instinctively grabs him and like pulls him into this awkward grabbing wrists bow towards each other. They're both like, well, how did this just happen? What the hell? And then the book falls out of her pocket. And Iruma goes, oh, I remember that one. I helped do the lettering on that book.
Iruma has had a lot of jobs in his 15 years.
Yeah, yes.
And he picks up reads it. It's like, wait, you can read that? He's like, yes. Grandpa Sullivan has a very interesting library. Wait, you can read this. Come with me. And he's like, oh my god, I'm in so much trouble. Smash cut to the inside the offices where the hidden library is. She sit down in a big comfy armchair. He's standing at a table with the manga open up in front of him with the picture showing outwards, and there's tea and snacks on the table next to him. And she wants him to read it out loud to her. Thus begins a really, really cute friendship, actually.
Yeah.
And I will point out that when we say she has a collection of ancient texts, this is a secret room, like almost its own small private library filled with these fucking things, and she wants him to start from the beginning.
Yep.
It's like starting with episode 1 of One Piece.
Yes.
And Ruma can't say no, so. But over the course of the show, it very clearly becomes they both really enjoy doing this. And, she basically becomes a bit of a mentor to him, and they become very good friends. And it's also very clear she's very much developing feelings for him.
Yeah, she's got more than a little bit of a crush on him.
It's not even, I think it's not even really a crush, really. I think it's really she likes and admires him and actually, really, really just likes him a lot.
I mean, they do get to a point a little bit after this where it actually becomes kind of obvious that she does like him, and she even starts encouraging him to pursue her.
Yeah.
Because they have that kind of... Iruma doesn't have any thoughts of his own, any goals of his own. He just helps other people. That's all he's ever known. That's all he's ever done.
And she actually asked him, so no, seriously, what do you want for yourself? And Iruma's like, I've never thought about this. She's like, okay, great. Then
it all comes up because he's discussing what they're saying in the manga, and it's like they're talking about their dreams for the future. She's like, what's that? What's dreams? Like, things that you want for yourself and aspirations. Oh, you mean ambition?
Not exactly, but close. And she's like, okay, yeah. No, I get where you're going though. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what are your dreams, Iruma?
That is not come up ever.
Literally, it's nobody's ever asked me what I want, and she's like, well, okay, let me be the one to ask you then. What do you want? I don't know.
Error 401.
And the thing I love about this though is that she is utterly like, okay, she doesn't get annoyed with him or anything. She becomes just very supportive and very mentory, and very much I'm going to be your cool older friend and help you here. So why don't you set yourself a small goal to just try advancing ranks? Yeah, see if that works for you. Okay, yeah, that sounds like an idea. And so thus begins Iruma's sort of journey into sort of self-improvement and trying to figure out what exactly it is he wants for himself.
But it's kind of, I mean, it's never really gone into that far. But it is implied that, yeah, like I say, she would absolutely encourage him to pursue her if he ranks up and gets to a level that's equal with her.
I'm not even sure necessarily even to that level. I think if that's what he wants, I think is more.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I really get the feeling that it will go that direction eventually.
Potentially, there's a lot of angles that Iruma could go, basically.
Oh, sure, but I honestly, it very well might go sort of a harem-y route, but except in a I don't know. It's weird. It could go the sort of boring claim harem route, but the writing's just too sharp in the show for it to go that way. I think.
Mm-hmm.
At least without it doing some surprising things.
But I am kind of impressed with that angle because, like I say, it shows a surprising amount of maturity.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
She's basically saying that out and out. Yeah, okay. If that's what you want, then prove that's what you want. Rise up the ranks and come in. I think she uses the words "meet me halfway" or something like that.
Yeah.
If it's not what he wants, then fair. You know, she's looking at it a very mature, almost like they're demons and not humans. You know, and they have their own way of thinking.
Yep. But it's also very, like, I will also say, like, it's very clear the concept of love very much exists here.
Oh yeah.
Like, she uses the term, and so does her dad, actually.
Yep.
So yeah, I would not be shocked I would not be shocked if they did end up together. I also would not be shocked if they didn't. Like, I can see either way going. Like, it is very clear they are going to be good friends for a long time, though. That is the thing I'm convinced of, at a minimum. Like, she's very clearly part of Iruma's circle of friends, and I don't think that's going to change.
No, she's part of the crew.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, whether Claire will accept this or not is open for debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Claire is actually very jealous of her.
Yes.
She's not part of the same social strata as the rest of the crew, and
well,
she sees
technically
her
speaking,
as...
neither is Az.
Yeah, but Az doesn't count.
Fair enough.
That's literally her reaction to that. That would be her reaction. Az doesn't count.
Because Az is nobility, like, legitimately.
And Claire would be like, yeah, but Az doesn't count. That's Az.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's not part of the same social strata. Like, within the school, even Az is at least part of the misfit class.
Yeah. No, she's student council president.
Yeah, and she sees her as someone who will take Iruma away, and Iruma is her best friend.
Right. Now, I will.
Again, Az doesn't count. It's Az.
Right. And we will also, like, it is also abundantly clear to the viewer that wouldn't happen.
Right.
And I'm also fairly certain that I really get the feeling that Mary would be like, no, I wouldn't take him away from you. Don't be ridiculous.
That would be dumb.
But it makes sense in character because, again, this is Clara, who's never had a real friend before.
Absolutely. That's, it makes complete sense. The writing is good.
Yes.
These are good.
Clara decides to take succubus classes.
Yes.
And this is some of the funniest shit I have ever seen.
It's so good. The succubus class is so good.
It's like the succubus, like the teacher, he's using this this spell to gauge everyone's sexiness in the class, or their charm, or whatever else.
The female side characters that a bunch of them aren't even in Aruma's class are in it, including like the one-eyed popular girl who's this basically a cone with an eye on top, and
everything about her that you see, the way she's presented, is that she's the hottest girl in the class.
Yeah. But she's the monster girl. She's the monster demon. She's not an actual humanoid.
Right.
But like, it's going through, and like, there's like, there's like 76% or 52%, and like the one of them, sorry, I've forgotten her name now.
The ice demon.
The ice demon, yeah, because she's
Carolee.
Carolee, she's frumpy. She keeps to herself. Big jam jar glasses. She's like, she's like a 45.
It was exactly at 51%, if you remember correctly.
Was it 51? Sorry, yeah.
Yes, because it's mentioned later on.
Right, of course. Yeah, she's just over halfway, and it's like the teacher's like,
and the teacher's teacher's legitimately surprised.
She's like, it's okay though, don't worry about that. We can work on that. To be honest, I've never had anybody in my class less than like 45%.
20% was the lowest.
Oh, the lowest, or something like that, yeah. And then he gets to Clara.
2.
Like, 2.
Dude. He's like, what? How?
This should be physically impossible for a high school student.
Clara is too pure for this sex thing, you fucking degenerate.
It's not even purity. It's just her fucking chaotic nature. She can't focus on anything for more than 10 seconds.
She tries all of these things she learns in Succubus class on Iruma-Kun, on Iruma, like, where is something shaky? She comes out dressed like a fucking fry guy.
So, perfume, douses herself in perfume, and basically gas attacks the classroom.
She puts on clown makeup.
It's good. Combines them all, and the best part about it is the very end. She gives up, and she's like completely depressed. And Iruma comes up and says, "Oh, that's where you are." They have a little talk, and she sort of, is, and she basically, is Clara. She just acts like herself and sort of doesn't fully explain what's going on. But she basically says, eventually, I'll figure this stuff out, and and she basically joking about, like, she's been saying that she's going to wrap a room around her finger, but she says it one more time, but as like, but like the way Clara would, with a bit of a mischievous glint in her eye, and Ruma's like, huh. I was like, it's the first time he's looked at her. It's like, wow, she's kind of cute, actually.
Yeah.
And they go walking off back to class together, and the succubus teacher's looking at him like, up to 12%, impressive.
Yeah,
that's wow, that's a lot of growth.
Yeah,
what happened?
It's like 400%. It's like I said. I mean, and it turns out that I was a lot closer to the mark than I realized when we were going through it. It's like there is only one person that could ever teach Clara that kind of information, and it's gonna be her mom.
Yeah,
because she's the only woman in the show that understands Clara.
Yeah, pretty much. One of the things I do about her mom is, like, as chaotic as their home life is, the second mom says, "Oh, we should settle down and have dinner." They settle down and have dinner.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't have to raise her voice or anything like that. It's just, they go, "Oh, yes, Mom."
It's chaos, but she's in charge.
And it's also very clear that they all adore their mother. Like,
yes.
And we've eventually figured out part of the reason why they are so musical, which is the best thing ever.
Runs in the family.
So the next bit that comes up is the class. The next important bit that comes up is the class. First off, there's the dodgeball game, which is hilarious.
Right.
Which is where Iruma eventually goes up a rank. And it's worth watching. It's not like, I don't want to go blow by blow on it.
It involves teaching Iruma how to use the ring so he can actually use magical attacks.
There's that, and also
otherwise he can't participate.
Also, it involves Opera teaching Iruma to not dodge.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to catch, not just dodge.
It's also a lot of development for Opera as well. We get to know Opera a lot through this.
Yeah. And this is where we learn about Opera is, like, they don't express through their face, they express through their ears. Mm-hmm. And oh my god, it is so adorable. The sort of their reaction at the end is just like, aw. Because, it's very clear Iruma's very thankful at, like, because it's Iruma, he's very good at, and Opera's like, oh, I've never been thanked for like that before.
There's a great couple of scenes through that. I will mention the a few bits that I actually really like into this arc, because it shows that Iruma likes playing video games.
Yep.
Like there's a number of scenes where Opera's doing something else, like, or talking on the phone, and is soundly thrashing Iruma, just using their tail to use the controls.
Yes.
And like at the end,
where Iruma's playing with Sullivan, and Sullivan just gets his ass kicked. It's clear Sullivan is not throwing the game and is getting actually frustrated.
Yes.
No, Iruma's good at video games. Opera's just hyper competent.
Yeah, but it's like at the very end of the arc, they're sat next to each other on the couch playing games, and once again, Opera wins, and Opera's like, Iruma, can I just ask, like, you never win, but you still seem happy to keep playing. Well, yeah, I'm just happy to have somebody to play games with. It's cool. I don't mind if I win. I've never had this in the real world, because there's also a bit of a dilemma going on about Iruma being given the choice whether he wants to go back to the human world or not.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm kind of, I don't need to win. I'm just happy having someone to play with. And and Opera's like, that's unfair. Proceeds to lose the next game. It's like, they're like, are you sure you're not a demon?
Oh, but yeah, it's largely largely this arc is Iruma learning to not run away from everything, basically.
It's also one of the first times we see them go nuts with the animation budget on that fucking dodgeball game.
Yeah.
And Iruma and Az end up on opposite teams, and the game ends up with Iruma versus Az, the only two left in the court. And Az is like, well, I should clearly throw the game to Iruma. And wait, he's taking this really serious. What am I thinking? Of course I can't throw the game. That'd be disrespectful to Iruma. I have to give it my all. And he does, and Iruma basically does the catch. It's like, oh my god, it's going to knock me over. And he proceeds to use his sort of instinctive judo skills to redirect the force of the attack back at Az. And everyone was like, holy shit, that was awesome!
Mm-hmm.
And Caligo's like, if Az had thrown the game, you would never have gone up a rank ever. I would make sure you'd never go up. But he clearly was trying, and you clearly earned this. So here, you go up to rank 2. It was a moment of grudging. He's like, I've got grudging respect for you the way you did that, kid. Well done.
Yep.
All right, you earned it.
And like I say, that's the first time you start realizing that Caligos may not just be an asshole. He is an asshole, but not just an asshole.
But yeah, so next comes up is the Battler Club. It's the Battler groups, which are basically school clubs.
Yeah.
And the recruiting for which is hilarious, and I don't want to spoil it because it's worth watching. Also, be around if we recap everything. And Iruma eventually joins the Magical Devices Club. Something along those lines. I forget the exact name of it. Who's the head of the club is and the only member is this very weak, sickly demon, whose goal is to basically, he wants to come up with a device that allows him to create a world where the power gap between demons doesn't exist, so everybody can be on equal level because
he wants to tear down the ranking system.
Yeah,
that's his ultimate goal.
Yep.
Because he sees it as inherently unfair, and he's not wrong.
No, he's absolutely not wrong. It's just a damn sight better than what it used to be. It turns out.
Yeah.
This is actually an improvement for most people. See, yes, this is unfair, but dear Lord, it could be worse. The strong could be literally preying upon the weak.
Better than it used to be doesn't mean it's good.
Right. Oh, I'm not arguing.
And he mentions that it's basically because he's from a relatively famous family. Like this is the thing. A lot of the families in it's as you'd expect. It's like almost feudal kingdom sort of thing. The being part of a family of a prestigious family is really important. All of them are. All these surnames that are getting thrown around. They're all known families with known bloodline traits. Az is powerful with fire. Clara uses the dimensional pocket thing. They've all got different little things. And he's born into a powerful, influential family, but he's a bit of a magical dud. Like, they're known for being obscenely strong in magic and having a lot of magical ability, and he's got relatively none. To the point where they literally throw him to a remedial school, basically, to try and improve.
Yep.
And that's where the resentment essentially starts, from it. Well, not I suppose resentment, but it's like this is where his reasoning for trying to use these magical tools to try and even the playing field.
That is, in fact, his stated goal. Yes.
Yes. What are you implying, Peter? That might not be true somehow?
Yeah, maybe not. So they come eventually. Iruma ends up joining the club through shenanigans. Mostly because he finds somebody. He likes the guy and thinks like
he feels a certain degree of kinship with him.
Yep. And the magical device thing seems kind of neat, actually. And Clara and Az are like, "Oh, if that's the club you're joining, well, then we're joining it too."
Yep.
Meanwhile, Mary's invited to join the student council.
But she didn't come right out and said it. She did it in a kind of a roundabout way. You should come and visit the student council because we're recruiting also, and you should come and visit. And Iruma completely over his head.
Yeah, but she ends up accidentally handing the invitation to Az, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's inviting Az of course she's inviting Az Mateus, of course." Yeah, no. So she's a little crestfallen when he doesn't show. A, he shows up very late, and B, is already joined another club. But she's also very supportive of having decided on something he wants to do. Because Mary's the best.
Yeah. I mean, she spent a hell of a long time decorating.
You found a battler that meets your interest. That's great. Wish you would have joined mine. but I support you making your decision.
Yeah, you've made a decision for yourself. You've actually
And
chosen.
that's great, and I appreciate that. And it makes the banner and all the snacks laid out kind of useless. But you know what? I support your decision.
I
The
love
best
Mary.
thing about it is she makes like paper rosettes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's like all the other demons are like, "What are these? How did you learn how to make these?" Cut to a picture of the fucking manga that she's been reading. It's like, ah.
And Iruma immediately spots what it's from because of course
Yeah.
he does.
She like recreates that like panels from their favorite manga, and
Oh my god. She's great. I love her.
Yes. She's got a really good, really like good way of like being an absolute nerd while simultaneously appearing like this superior monster to everyone else.
Because she's both is the thing. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. But it's like people only ever see one or the other because Iruma never sees her as this huge.
well, he didn't know she was in the student
intimidating
council until
monster.
he didn't know she was in the student council. She invited him to come by, and he's like, you're on the student, you're the president of the student council. Yeah, you didn't know? No. And she's like, wait, he agreed to do this without knowing I'm the head of the student council to read. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why would he? I This boy confuses me. I like him, but he confuses me. I think he confuses me in a way I'm actually kind of enjoying. Like, it's not confusing. I'm being surprised by him in fun ways. Huh. Neat. So yeah, eventually they have to come. There's the big sort of festival day, and every battler has to come up with a presentation. And the one that Iruma comes up with is fireworks. Because they debate a bunch of different ideas and things, and like Clara wants something that explodes, and Az wants something with fire because that's what he's good at.
yeah, and of course Clara wants something that explodes. It's Clara.
Yes. And Iruma's like, well, what fits all that are fireworks. And he describes the fireworks as like, can we do that? And Iruma's like, and the head of the battler's like, I can't remember the guy's name is the problem.
Yeah.
Kiriwo, that's what it is.
Yeah. I knew I had a weird.
Yeah, Kiriwo's like, I mean, if I had something to work from, maybe we could come up with something. And Iruma's like, got an idea. And goes off to talk to Mary to borrow one of the manga with the fireworks in it. And she's like, well, no, I can't lend you one of the books. These are forbidden texts. Well, okay, yeah, that's fair. I get it. I was just planning on using it to make fireworks for the battler, and she's like, for the festival. And she's like, wait, you're gonna make fireworks? Like, really? Yeah, that was the plan. Oh, I really want to see that.
It's like,
Fine. You didn't get it from me. You bring this right the fuck back.
Oh dear, I seem to have accidentally forgotten the book on the stand. Thank you, Mary. I forgot it on the stand. I know. I'm just thanking you anyways. Oh, okay. I love that little bit. She's like, I'm conveniently forgetting it. Yeah, I get it, Mary. I'm saying thank you anyway. I'm saying thank you. She's like, oh, right. Yeah, right. Got it. And she immediately, in her head, she's like, yeah, Ruma's agreed to watch fireworks with me. That's like, wow, I really want to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's something I really want to do. She's got it bad.
yeah, in her head, she's in that fucking manga.
Yeah.
And everyone's next to her, like they're watching the fireworks. It's like, yeah, yeah.
The thing is, like, you watch their interactions, and it honestly, like, I get it. Like,
She is one internet message board away from writing her own fan fiction.
there's that, but it's also, I think part of the thing is, like, Iruma is unlike any other demon she's been around, other than basically her dad.
Mm.
It's like, he's not like most of the demons, in that he's not like the super braggadocious, must be dominant, rah, rah, rah. It's like, no, he's just a nice, kind, helpful guy who's actually very cute. Like, she finds him physically attractive because he's cute, and he's nice to her, without any expectations.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a good person. And she's not used to that. Like, there aren't many demons who are just, quote, good people. Like, there are some. Clara leaps to mind. Weirdly. Clara's whole family is just, like, disturbingly wholesome for demons. But yeah, also, it's not just the nice guy. Like, it really does seem like they just get along really well. which I think is really kind of neat. At any rate, moot point though. So yeah, we eventually find out that Kiruo's, been brought, like his senpai from previous is it turns out is actually a fairly powerful demon and is part of the big council, and the council of powerful demons, and yeah, his plan is to basically destroy this school because Kiruo because he wants to go back to the old ways. Because the new ways are stupid and lame.
His new ways are stupid and lame, and there is nothing he likes more than seeing that moment when someone's heart breaks.
That's Kiruo.
And hope. That's Kiruo, yes.
Kiruo, turns out, loves seeing, exactly as Eric was saying. Yeah, go. You were saying it better than I would.
He loves seeing that moment when someone's heart breaks, when the last bit of hope is extinguished, and all they see before them is desolation and sorrow. That's what he lives for. That's his meat and potatoes. That's what gets him up in the morning. That's what gets him up in his pants. That's what he loves.
It's a really clever little thing because they cut back to the bit that I mentioned when he was originally telling his story. And like when they tested him and found out he was magically weak compared to his family, and it wasn't the like I say, it wasn't that disappointment that he was lesser powered. It was the look on his mother's face that she was disappointed in him.
Yeah,
that he was remembering because he got a kick out of it. He recites this whole story about a person at the remedial school that he went to, and about how he the good side of the story is about how he was they were both, him and a girl that he met there were both bullied, and he tried to stand up for her and let her down, and it's implied that he feels guilty about it. It's like no. He just really enjoyed the look on her face when he let her down.
He didn't intentionally let her down. It's a thing. That's when he failed her. With the look on her face is like, oh, this is what I've been looking for all my life.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a sick puppy.
I'm 6 years old and I just figured out my reason to try. I am so lucky.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he's basically rigged things to use the firework to destroy the school through various things. And he's got this necklace that's been absorbing magic the whole time, so you could break the necklace to amp up his barrier spells, his natural bloodline barrier ability to be able to basically wall people off in the school and such, and use it way more than he normally could. And lots of stuff happens, and
well, the important parts is that there's as well as all this going on in his little plot and his interactions with the trio. There's also this subplot been going on with Mary's dad.
Oh, Mary's dad and Sullivan, yeah.
Who's been tipped off that Sullivan went into the human world, kidnapped a child, and brought a human back into the netherworld. And Mary's dad is the one that's investigating it. Now, it's actually really clever how they do this. And I'm at the risk of spoiling. Okay, skip the next 10 seconds. Mute the next 10 seconds if you don't want spoiled. The guy that set this up didn't have a fucking clue that Iruma is human. He just spread a rumor because a rumor came out of nowhere simply to get Sullivan out of the way. And doesn't know how close he got.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you say, Mary's dad is also pretty clever. So afterwards they have an investigation, and I think he's kind of cottoned on as well anyway.
Oh no, he's figured it out.
He's figured it out anyway, but he's like, and this is where we learn what happens with humans.
Yes, we'll get to that in 1 second because it's really funny.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so Kiruo has been basically creating a maze of walls, and eventually, like, they come up the faculty comes up with a plan to get students into the courtyard where they'll be relatively safe. This turns out that's actually playing into Kiruo's plans, and he's like, "Oh, that's actually helping me. Sweet."
He set up the maze in such a way that would be really easy to get them into the courtyard because that's the kill zone.
Right.
Yeah.
But
It's
then the
also-
faculty start helping him do that. And he's like, oh,
Well, that's it. It's typical like bomb or fire drill thing. Where do all the students gather in the courtyard? It's literally set up to get them there, to herd them in, and then go boom.
so yeah. And Iruma and unfortunately Iruma, Az and Clara are separated by a wall with Az and Clara on one side, Iruma on the other. And Aruma's like, okay, I think I know what's going on. Because these are very clearly Kirawo's barriers. So Kira's up to thinking, I think I know where he might be. They've been looking for him because the firework is missing. And they're like, where did it go? Clara, did you take it out? Nope. They find this out because
it was going to explode. Why would I stop that?
Right. So, okay, but they find this out because Clara starts setting the thing off early. And they're like, no, Clara, what? It didn't go off. Why? It's empty. What the hell? I guess Kiro took it somewhere. Okay, let's go see if we can find Kiro-senpai. So they go off looking for him, and Iruma eventually figures out, okay, I think I know where he is. He knows that there's a secret room. He stumbled across it by accident before. And he's like, okay, I think I know where it is, but I can't get there because of the barriers. And Az and Clara come up, like, the three come up with a plan between the two of them. As like I know I know I've memorized the layout of the school but I've got no way to get out there, and we don't have like the frog spell that one of our teachers has that can like create lots of frogs. They can go out and stick to the walls and figure out where things are. And Claire's like, well, I can copy the little paper doll men that Kiro was using in the club room that can be animated with magic and it can move around like that on their own. And as like, wait, you did that? Well, yeah, I copy anything I see. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good idea, Valak. Oh my God, Clara had a good idea.
Here too.
So he basically they use Az's magic to animate them because he's the most powerful of the three magically, and they send the dolls out to map the thing out. And Iruma basically so he can send back, and they maintain in touch via phone because they can't use normal magic communication. They all have cell phones. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
and the cell phones seem to be working
hell
within
phones,
the school.
Please.
Hell phones. You're right. What am I saying? You're right. They're hell phones. What was I thinking? But yeah, so they keep in contact by phone, and Iruma basically runs along and eventually gets the door and it's walled off. And Kiro is like, "It's just Iruma. I can let Iruma in. This will be awesome."
Because Iruma's a sweet, innocent, fragile soul who I can really break by letting him watch everyone die and see the look of despair on his face. It's going to be amazing. Like,
and he explains
cherry
everything
on
to
top.
Iruma because this is how he's getting off. And Iruma's like, "Okay." Starts stacking boxes. What are you doing? I'm going to stop you. Wait, you haven't given up? No. What? But you're not despairing? Despairing's stupid.
Yeah.
I've been through worse than this, kid. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, I've been through the worse than this. And what does standing there crying and wailing do? I can actually just stop this.
What?
And everyone else in the room, well, I said everyone else, everyone watching is looking at Kuro and is like, you have chosen poorly.
Because Iruma, for all his faults, it's entirely in character.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he goes out and goes on the roof and uses the magic in the ring to propel the thing up to the barriers. And it's not powerful enough. And he's like, aha, you need to be powerful Sullivan to break through that barrier. Looks down at the ring.
Oh,
Huh.
yeah, that's
There's the max setting that Grandpa told me never to use because it unleashed all the magic in the ring. Sorry, Grandpa. Click. Boosh! Remember that the
that's
magic...
why Chekhov gave me this gun. Okay.
Yeah, that's why Chekhov gave me this gun. Yep. Yeah. And, because back in episode 5, Sullivan poured magic into the ring. Remember?
Yeah, and told him exactly how the ring worked in the various magic
Yeah,
settings.
he had it reforged and added power settings so the Iruma could basically use magic or at least a couple of spells that might help.
And don't use this setting. It unleashes all the magic in the ring all at once. And that's a lot. Don't do it, please, Iruma. Sorry, Grandpa. Click. Boom! Meanwhile, Sullivan has realized what's basically Caligos and one of the other teachers who has a bow that can shoot like arrows through any barrier to get to its target, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great little bit where like because Sullivan is so powerful, he literally like the second that Kiruro breaks the pendant and powers himself up, you get a little flash of Sullivan in prison. Just go,
Yeah, something's up.
Yeah, exactly. But he still waits. He doesn't make any moves, and then this.
And
like,
Caligos is like, okay, what we need now. He doesn't say it out loud, but this is the obvious what was going through. What we need now is Sullivan. Right, I can break through individual barriers. Your bloodline power shoot arrows that will automatically seek out the target and get there and can't be stopped. Right? Yeah. All right. Here's a note tied to that. Shoot it at Sullivan. Follow me.
Yeah. And it's a great scene. This arrow just like flies through fucking everything, like through someone's castle. I mean, it phases. It doesn't destroy it. It phases through everything. This unstoppable thing that just no one can see, no one can hear. It's just coming. It's meant to be an ultimate like assassin weapon, and he enters the prison into the cell, and Sullivan just like
catches it
between his fingers. Because of course he does.
Pulls the note off, reads it, and goes, right. I'm done here. I'm going to go meet up with my grandson. No, you can't leave. And Sullivan looks like, are you going to stop me?
Yeah, this is one of those times where you get full on Kiryu. It's like you just see like him look back, full on demonic eyes. He's like, I told you, I'm leaving. And it's like, oh.
I mean, so what are you going to have to do? I have to go meet with my grandson. Bye. Smoosh through the wall. So he arrives after Iruma's basically gotten the firework out, the overpowered firework out, the super bomb basically, which is detonated up in the sky and just looks awesome. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's so amazing!" And then the bits and pieces are falling down and are going to blow up the school anyways. And Sullivan's like, "Okay, well, Iruma did really well to get it this far, and has bought me enough time to get here. That's great. Stop time."
Straight up fucking Zamarudo!
Walks up and just basically whirlwinds them away so they fall into the lake around the school, causing more cool explosions and making more awesome fireworks. It's like, wow, Iruma bought me enough time to end the threat, but he's very clear. Iruma, wow, well done, kid.
Yeah.
God, I love my grandson. It's very clear Sullivan has become very fond of Iruma.
Yes.
There's a random kid I chose because his parents are assholes. Turns out to be an excellent investment. And I was just looking for it. This is great.
It's like, wow, I did better with this than I thought I was going to. Sweet.
All I wanted was a grandson to dote on, and I have this guy. Awesome.
Oh, he's going to screw with things big time in all the ways I'm going to find wildly entertaining. And I will approve of because he's doing things that I would want to do. I love this kid. But yeah, so he explains what's happened, and like Iruma wakes up, sort of Sullivan's like, "Oh, good, you're awake," and he's being very caring and kind. Sullivan's awesome. That's all. And so the Battler Club does not win the tournament because, of course, they didn't. They had prizes for the best thing in the thing, and all the students absolutely love the fireworks. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But the winners were the broadcast team because oh yeah, the teachers all stormed the room and all pointing their attack things at Kiryu, and Kiryu's like, "No, I give up. Beer cop. I lost. Iruma won. I did not see this coming." I mean, once that happened, I saw this coming. No, Iruma's fine. I didn't do anything awful to him. I may have poked him a little bit, but
Yeah, he fucked with him a little bit while he was unconscious, but that's about it.
The succubus dance was hilarious.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. That does, yeah. So yeah, they announced the winners of the contest, and it's like the Succubus Club came in third because of course they do. I've got a feeling they get a prize every year because they were.
Well, they did a hostess club. Of course they did a hostess club.
Of course they won a prize. The second place with the
new Magic team who invented
team
who invented a virtual reality video game with magic. Which is awesome.
No, that was
you're right. No, they're the ones who got literally extracted water from a stone.
Yeah, they developed a magic that could milk a stone for water. And then the winners were the broadcast club, who basically, like during a crisis, held everything down, kept everyone calm, and carried on broadcasting. So they got the main prize.
To which is fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, as Eric was expecting the chocolate banana guys,
because they were in every scene.
We were convinced that that the Magic Device Club were not going to win, and the winner would be someone that you didn't think of immediately, but were in every scene.
Yeah,
and I called the chocolate banana because they were in every scene,
and everybody seemed to like the chocolate bananas.
Yep.
But right. Of course the broadcast team was in every scene, and they were awesome. They did a really good job. Of course they won.
Yeah.
And they invented a new prize for Iruma's team because they kind of had to acknowledge this.
The school, but it was awesome. So.
And Iruma did save the day, so.
As far as the student body are concerned, like it was because of the fireworks,
right?
And going above and beyond, the kind of thing. But as far as the staff are concerned, it's like, yeah, you basically saved everyone's life. We'll give you this.
So you go up.
This
is
also a warning. Remember, teachers are here for a reason. Get us next time.
Yeah, Caligos is like, hey, look, Iruma, don't do that again. Like, you were incredibly reckless, but you did save the day. That's great. But god damn it, trust in the teachers. We're here for a reason, And Iruma's like, oh.
Yeah, good guy Caligo.
Like, when shit hits the fan, Caligos is like, no, I'm here to save the students. Like, duh. And Iruma's now ranked 3. And Amiri's it's like, that was awesome, but I thought we were going to watch the fireworks together. Did I say that?
I got distracted with everything exploding.
Yeah, she later finds out, oh, okay, that's what happened. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I get it. And that's the end of the sort of the big main arc of the story. There's a little bit afterwards which is actually not like it. We're all like, this is going to feel like, kind of like anticlimactic, and it ended up not feeling that.
Mm-hmm. It would have made more sense to slip it in earlier.
In some ways, yes. The problem is it wouldn't have actually made like.
It didn't really fit in earlier.
It didn't fit in earlier. The problem is, so it basically there's a demon, there's an idol, like pop idol, Japanese, idol musician.
Yeah, they call them demidolls.
Demidolls, yeah.
Basically, they explain this whole, and I think this is going to lead into season 2, going by what we see. Basically, they imply that the reasons demons aren't what they used to be is because they've learned to manage their evil, aggressive, malicious thoughts. And they have this cycle where these sort of feelings and the impulse to do bad build up until they just explode and like go nuts and start rampaging, basically like any normal human.
So they need to find ways to prevent it, like
unless
through sports.
Unless they can find a way to prevent it, like entertainment, video games, sports, something, And they've basically built up an entire entertainment industry, like we've already mentioned the video games and everything else all around, giving demons something to do other than go on demonic rampages.
Yeah. And the idol thing falls into it, and we're introduced to Kuromu, who's this very famous up-and-coming idol.
Who supposedly has an ability that can not just like is part of the entertainment, but can literally like physically lift somebody's.
Well, she's so likable and adorable that you like actually directly meeting with her like lifts your spirits and like vents negative energy.
She's
so cute.
It's shown she's so cute. She actively like deflects aggression.
Yeah.
Like there's one scene when she's like a small child where she runs into this big, huge, burly biker dude with an ice cream and like gets it all down his shirt, and he's like growling and angry, and then looks at her and he's like, "Oh, fine, I'll buy you an ice
it's this
cream."
cute little kid. Let me buy you an ice cream. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run into you and hurt you, kid.
Everyone waits on her hand and foot and dotes on her, and she gets all the the attention, everything else. And I will admit, without going too far into the spoiler of it, the fact that she doesn't become a complete unbearable asshole is again a really clever bit of the writing, because they give her a reason not to do that.
Yep. But yeah, so yeah, it turns out we find out that it's actually one of Iruma's classmates. It's Caroli, the ice chick, who is wearing magic glasses disguise glasses that amp down her adorableness by 49%.
Yeah, which is why she's only at 51. She would be 100%.
She's just that cute, and she's also a very talented singer, and she's worked very hard at all of this. But like getting her but she's all her powers are right based on ice. So if she gets overly emotional and overheated, it has a negative effect on her.
Yeah,
turns out that's a familial trait.
She does have a bit of an ego complex. It's not like I say insufferable diva kind of levels, but she's an idol. Her whole purpose is to stand out and get attention. And we realize that going back through the show, like, she's been doing her jobs, and every time we've seen the school newspaper with Iruma front and center on the front page, there's always been like a byline of this idol that you'd never even noticed unless you were looking for it going back. And basically, without trying, Iruma's been pushing her to the byline.
The best part is if you look in the background, almost every shot where Iruma's being acknowledged in the class of doing something awesome and stood out, she's in the back looking very frustrated.
Yes.
And so she's like infuriated that he just keeps standing out. He ends up winning the thing to meet her backstage, and she's like, "Oh my god! Of course it's Iruma. How the hell did he? What the I?" And like,
where's this asshole's luck?
But she's basically making he doesn't know who I am. It's all good. And then Iruma's basically like, okay, well, I'll get going. See you in school tomorrow. She's like, okay, wait, what? He's like, how did you know? Well, all right, there's this thing you did. There's the glasses. The glasses were a big dead giveaway. Also, the way you hold your hands is really distinctive. And I noticed you're doing it on stage. And she's like, wait, you paid attention to how I hold my hands? Well, yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
It's because, again, Iruma gives a shit about people. He notices things about people. Yeah. So she gets overworked up, and because he basically says, I'm really jealous of you because you managed to not stand out, and I keep trying not to stand out, and I keep standing out. I want to be the inverse of that. She's like, oh, I hate you so much.
Frustrated because, wait a minute. I want to be the center of attention, and I'm constantly being pushed aside by someone who is trying to do the opposite. What?
You're doing this accidentally? I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
At which point she passes out from overheating herself.
Yeah, she goes full on.
She basically freezes the entire friggin' room and then passes out before a show.
And it turns she's right before a show, so she can't go on right away. And Iruma's like, well, I want to help because this might actually kind of be my fault. And like her manager's like, what can you do? And he's like, I can't let it slide. I have an idea. So he goes and gets Az and Clara, who were there also, because they were given tickets by the broadcast club, who had gotten them before they got invited to actually help film the thing.
Right.
So like, we got these tickets. We're going to be there anyway. So you guys are awesome. We kind of stole your thunder. You guys probably should have won, in our opinion. So here. And so like, Az and Clara, it's like he explains the situation. They're like, oh yeah, we definitely want to help. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Without explaining like who she is at first, and so the manager's like, okay, look, I understand you guys want to and Ruma's like, we could do an opening act thing. It's like, these people are expecting idols. Do you know any cute girls that could do it? And Ruma's like, well, I don't know. And Claire's like, what if we make some? Taps her pockets.
Most evil glare on her face.
Yeah.
Because it's very clear. Oh, I've wanted to get Az into a pretty dress for so long.
Oh, I mean, there's a great bit where it's like she just pulls out ready-made dresses, just like, and remember she has to have seen them before, so she's seen these dresses, and then they're ready and waiting in the right sizes. She's known this is coming for a long while. And like they're trying to get dressed, and Iruma's like, oh god, how does this do I just throw this whole thing over my head? How do girls' clothes work?
And there's
are
Az.
you having trouble? So that Az is just like putting finishing touches on pulling up his knee socks. He's like, what? No, it's because
It's like it's not that I do this at home. It's like I help my mom get her clothes on all the time.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
It's cool, but, no judgment. It's not like that.
And the thing is, it's very likely not just like that. But of course, Az looks stunning because of course Az looks stunning in basically anything.
Yeah, it has.
Like I am convinced you could put him in a potato sack and he'd look good. Fucker. But they go out and they do a really nice little impromptu warm-up performance that actually wins everybody over because it's a combination of like they all are actually fairly talented at certain things, and they're also
Clara
just
is
awkwardly cute enough that it works.
Yeah. Clara is the ultimate hype woman anyway, so she's working the crowd from the
It's
start.
a little unfortunate that she doesn't do much singing because Clara can actually sing.
Yeah, like I said, we've seen her do musical numbers several times in the show.
Yep.
Well, this is like I say, Clara's basically working the crowd, as is the most beautiful girl in the world. And Iruma is
and shows it does all these really cool effects with fire also that are really cool.
Yeah,
because he's got complete mastery of fire.
Iruma is like more like au fait with the idol scene than anyone in the demon world, so he's like he knows all the moves and the tricks to work the crowd as well.
I'm willing to bet he worked as a choreographer for them at one point.
More than likely, he's done everything else. But like this is also the bit that like a really cool little nod, and this is what Peter mentioned earlier. Is like they're explaining what demidolls are, and it's showing like the history of them and some of them performing on stage. And one of them is a suspiciously large, busty, green-haired woman.
And so it's like, wait, that's Claire's mom.
Claire's mom was a demidoll.
Everything makes sense now.
Yeah, everything makes sense.
It's like, oh, of course she was. This explains the musical talent throughout the family.
Yeah. So, of course, Clara is an absolute natural on stage. No fear. She's straight into it. She's giving the others pointers. And, she's basically feeding Az's lines because he hasn't got a clue.
Right. And eventually, Caroli comes out. It's like, oh my god! She's like, at first she's kind of running. Then she realizes that he's doing this they're doing this to help her save face. She's like, oh my god.
Yeah, she's pissed.
The opposite of what he told me he wanted. He's clearly doing this to help me out.
Yeah.
Fuck! I think we're friends now.
She comes out initially pissed because he's stealing my limelight. He's stealing my thing. How dare they ruin my show? It's like, wait, you mean he's doing this to save my show? But he said he didn't want to stand out.
Oh,
he does it. He stands out accidentally because he's trying to help other people. Oh,
fuck! I think we're friends now.
Yeah, I'm an asshole.
Right. I gotta go get ready. So she gets ready, comes out on stage. And it was like, okay, great, we're going. And she's like, no. You came out on stage. You're finishing it. We're doing a duet.
They pull off the show. Afterwards is a great little bit. Like they're all like getting changed afterwards and coming out and it's like explaining things. And it's like one of the producers goes over to Az and the trio, basically all three of them. It's like, guys, you were actually great. Do you want to be demidolls? And like Az and Iruma are like, no.
And Iruma's like, yeah, no, that's okay. That's like, no.
No, exact same time, Clara says yes.
Yes!
But the way Az and Iruma say it is very different also. Because Iruma's like, yeah, no, I do not really want to do it. And Az's like, no, absolutely not.
Under no circumstances do I wish to be
and Claire's, yes! And she's like, oh, okay. It's very, I think it's pretty clear she yes, I would love to do idle things with my best buds. Oh, they don't want to do it. Aw. All right.
Right, fine.
Fine, we'll find a new game.
But I want to dress as up in pretty dresses more.
That's pretty dresses. Watch him flounder through the idol stuff. It's so much fun.
Like, yeah, like dressing Iruma up's fun too, but like he actually seems to be okay with it, and he doesn't like, yeah, Az is okay with it, but like it's very clear he's also annoyed with me, and that's hilarious. Iruma just looks cute. Goddamn, he looks cute in those. Shit. So yeah, that's largely roughly where it ends. Basically, I mean, it ends with the episode of basically Iruma realizing that he actually kind of likes it here, and it's like, wow, I sort of actually this has become normal and routine, and I kind of like it here, huh?
Yeah. Well, something else is the Devil Ice base. Aruma's not Aruma.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't remember
yeah.
her name.
Right, yeah. Mary's dad.
Mary's dad.
Yeah,
Basically,
he explains what they do with humans, which is send them back to the human world. We blank the memories and send them back home. So if you were human and needed help, I would totally help you get back home. Understand? Oh yeah, if I was, that would totally be cool.
Yeah, if I were a human, that would certainly be something I'd consider.
But like that's actually removes like one of Aruma's biggest fears. Like they're not like if they catch me, they're not going to just like kill me. They'll just send me home. Okay. I'm less terrified of everything now. But like a Mary comes up.
Yeah, Mary immediately comes up and instantly starts covering for him.
She's like, no, he's a great demon. Yeah, it's like, so you know him? Oh yeah, we hang out all the time. You do.
You hang out.
Hang out with a boy.
And she's like, yeah. So what do you talk about? I can't talk about what we're actually doing. We talk about our love and things we want for the future and all this stuff. And her dad's like,
no,
she's got a boyfriend. Alert! 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 There's a bit where his glasses break like 6 times in a row, and Ruma's like, how do they break multiple times? But like he doesn't even go to like fully overprotective dad mode. He just sort of shuts down.
He goes chibi. If anything, he goes full on chibi dad. It's like I can't process this.
And Barry's like, Dad, are you okay? Okay, Iruma, I'll talk to you later. I gotta help Dad. Iruma's like, yeah, no problem, Mary. Talk to you later.
I love the little because obviously it's something that they're gonna have to work out going forward because they both know he's human.
Yep.
But are both keeping it secret so
from the other
to protect the other one. It's like what?
It's gonna be a good comedic bit when they both realize.
Yep.
But yeah, it's another case of Amiri, one of Aruma's best friends, being one of his best friends.
Yeah.
She's totally part of the. She's totally gonna be part of the circle eventually.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I bet that I mean she's going to end up being friends with Az and Clara eventually also. I think.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Right now it's a different orbit. I think the two orbits will intersect, but we'll find out next season. Which is airing now.
Because apparently that is airing now.
Yeah,
okay. Airing now, yeah.
Yeah, it's ongoing now. I've not started watching season 2 yet. I intend to.
All right.
I've been resisting. I'm going to watch season 2 and then I might read the manga. But that's welcome to Demon School, Iruma-Kun. It's a hoot. So we'll do the usual thing. Final comments, Eric, then Gav, then I'll finish up because it was my selection.
All right, so I will confess, we started this before a while back, and I kind of bounced hard off of it.
Mm-hmm.
After we got past the point where I was, I started enjoying it more, largely because the animation cleared up, and I started appreciating Clara. I didn't. That thing is like I'm going to end up hating Clara started to fade further and further in the background as the longer I went without hating Clara, to the point where Clara's awesome and I don't have to worry about hating her anymore. I really didn't want to hate her.
Right.
And Peter's right. Like all of the characters are really interesting. Watching Iruma just sort of like accidentally get these people to become like almost their best selves by just by being a decent person to them, which is apparently not something that happens a lot in the demon world. You watch the show for the relationships as they develop.
Mhm.
and the shit that Clara pulls. Because Clara's always pulling something.
Yeah, never take your eyes off the background with Clara.
Um, like Opera and Sullivan, Clara and Az, Clara and Saburo, the totally not an idol, honest chick, and everyone around her as she desperately tries to Hannah Montana her way through school.
It's literally that is literally it.
Marie and her Clara's friendship and wanting to help Aruma, but at the same time being utterly flabbergasted and frustrated with his inability to pick up on hints that she's pulling directly from the reading material that he's reading to her.
Yeah.
And even like the revolutionary guy that's in charge of the magical devices club, like I kind of was a little annoyed with his whinging like acceptance of just getting stomped on all the time, until I realized, oh no, he's a revolutionary. He's gonna tear down the system. Oh, he's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those dual realizations as the plot progresses, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this show's really good at making you like having aspects of characters you just don't expect.
Yeah, that all makes sense
Yeah.
looking back. Like, of course he's he behaves like a whinging weakling because that means people will look at him with disappointment and disgust, which he likes. He likes that look on people's face. Like that all makes sense, and like even my annoyance with him like faded upon that realization.
Which would have disappointed him.
Yes. The just yeah, I bounced hard off the show at first, but Peter made me watch more of it, and I ended up really enjoying it. As far as the animation goes, it starts off really rough and it's trying very hard to pull that like mid '90s comedy, and it really wants to look like the Slayers.
Yeah.
And it does a pretty good job at aping that. And as the show progresses, the animators get more used to aping that style. Things start cleaning up and becoming smoother. And about halfway through the season, I stopped being annoyed by it and started enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because they figured out what they were doing and how to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. As far as animation goes, second half all the way. First half is a lot of try a lot of trying and failing, but learning from those failures. And I couldn't point at particular moments, like characters going off model, but not in the way they intended to, in an attempt to get that style. You know what I'm talking. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea how to express this. Never mind. Animation gets better as the show goes on. There.
But yeah, I mean, the biggest, as Eric's just hinted there. I mean, the biggest strength this has is the depth that every character has. Every character has at least two sides, and one that you wouldn't expect. You know, they could quite easily just be your standard stereotypical templates and just go with that. Like I say, you've got the asshole teacher that no one likes. Turns out actually he's a really good guy. He's just really tired of people's shit. You know, you've got the pretty boy popular one who's actually fairly vulnerable and has a lot of his own problems that he was kind of just hiding, and is happy to be a bit more, you know, open with them with when he puts himself in a subservient role. Even though everyone has nothing to do with that, he just wants a friend. You know, you got the ball of energy that is Clara, that, you know, over the top, annoying, super, but she's also very vulnerable, but has a lot of like hidden talents underneath of that. One of the best
And a lot of
examples,
very insecure in her position. Yeah.
almost like people who are massively outgoing and try to be popular are massively insecure.
Never would have thought of that.
Yeah. And Mary, she's to everyone that sees her, she's the school council president. She's the ice queen. She's dangerous. Everyone respects her. No one fucks with her. Like literally, there's one scene where somebody like rebelling breaks a window, like throws a stone through a window, and she catches them.
They hit her with a bat, if I remember correctly. Actually,
oh, the bat, yeah, especially with the bat. She goes, "What's that supposed to achieve? You're a fucking demon. If you're gonna rebel, do it properly. Picks him up and throws him through a wall."
She kicks the wall down, if I remember correctly.
Or something like that, yeah. But that's the sort of everyone's afraid of her, except Iruma, who doesn't recognize that, and turns out she's a massive fucking weeb
and a complete sweetheart.
And a complete sweetheart underneath when you get to know her.
Yeah.
One of the best ones, and the ones that we laughed at, is Sabro.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, we never did. Yes.
During the battler.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
See, Sabro's whole thing is, I am going to be Demon King. His family are absolutely certain that one of their bloodline will be Demon King. He's read all the sacred texts. He knows the prophecy, which it's definitely not Iruma.
No, totally not.
It's totally not Iruma. Descends from a foreign land, wears a golden ring upon his hand,
and gets all the demons to be subservient to him. Yep. No.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, he's absolutely certain that he will be Demon King. He knows everything about the Demon King. Therefore, it is clear he must join the Demon King battler, because that will be the route for him to ascend. And he thinks it's, he's got this idea in his head that this is like a gang, basically, that of all the toughest demons that he will rule over and become Demon King. It turns out, no, it's a bunch of nerds that sit in the library and research and debate over the Demon King and all the texts and everything else that he's already read a million times. And he thinks this is awesome.
Well, he's like, wait, they have books about the Demon King I haven't read yet.
Yeah. It's like,
he goes in expecting like this big like dueling thing, and someone explains it to him, and you see this like reaction shot of him just like looking dumbfounded, and he goes, "This is amazing."
He's so happy.
You get to just sit around all day and talk and discuss the Demon King. Oh, this is great. This is better than I thought it was.
They put on plays about the Demon King.
It's great.
They put on plays about the Demon King. He gets to act.
Yes.
He's a giant history nerd that does theater nerd on the side. It's great.
But the depth of the characters and the character work in this. I mean, you don't see them interact with people outside of the art, all that much, and there's a fair few throwaway side characters. I'm hoping they get fleshed out a little bit more, because I mean, you get one interaction during the battler when the battlers are hunting the freshmen, where Asmodeus throws up a fire barrier to just incinerate anyone that comes near. So like he's still treating other demons exactly the way he used to treat every demon, but within this circle, you still, you get a completely different character. There is a little bit of world building, but not a whole lot. You start to get a little bit towards the end. But again, I think that's, again, stuff they're going to go into as we continue. But yeah, this is purely character-based. I loved it. I did. Like Eric said, we did try watching it a while back as one of our just like warm-up shows. And it was okay. There were no complaints as such. We just didn't carry on with it. But now we've come back to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, I adore this show. It hits all my I miss the Slayers bones. Like I miss shows like that, and this hits all of them. It is hilarious. It's got characters with actual like nuance, which Slayers did too, is the thing. Like, it has little bits of actual sort of semi-serious story that go on through it here and there, but they're never afraid to make sort of, and now we're going to have something that's comedic gold happen in the middle of this serious thing. And it doesn't feel like a weird shift, because the way the rest of the show's structured, you're expecting comedy at any random moment. We don't have any Prince Phil moments. Well, sort of. We have Clara, but but we never have anything quite to that level. Which What? That's not a fair comparison. It's Prince fucking Phil.
Yeah, it's Prince Phil. You're right. That's not a fair comparison.
Prince Phil, comedic genius.
Yeah, so
You know,
Boost Crush.
One thing, just the one that just reminded me as you mentioned it there. You know, the one thing that actually really stands out to me
What?
in this show, we finally got a lead that doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like in most stories, like most anime or even manga, like the hero, even if he's played or she is played as a humble sort, you know, they've generally got, I want to save the world, I want to do right by everyone else, and Ruma's kind of like that, but it's like it's what he does by default. Like if you ask that other character, what do you want for, you know, what do you want to do, what do you want in life? I just want to help people. Iruma's answer is, I don't know. I mean, I help people by accident.
Well, I
you
mean,
know, by,
what
that's
Iruma
what I
like?
do. That's
The thing is, Iruma knows what he wants, but not for himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
What he wants is his friends and everyone around him to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what he wants for himself, as Amiri points out. It's like, it's not the same thing. That's not what I'm asking you. And he's like, oh. But no one's ever asked me what I want for myself.
Mm.
You know,
It's
it's
so
Amiri
refreshing
asking
to
the
have-
armor-piercing question, you know?
Yeah, it's refreshing to have that character who isn't like.
There are shows that have done that. It's just that the character usually comes across as wishy-washy and lame.
Yeah.
And Iruma doesn't, because I don't know. Iruma should be annoying. Like, there are a lot of, like, Iruma embodies a lot of traits I normally find annoying in leads in these sorts of shows. Except it doesn't happen because, A, he's hilarious. B, like, it's very clear that, you know, like, what he wants for most of the show is something he can't articulate to Mary, which is, I want to not be discovered as a human. I want to just go on living my happy life here as a human living in the demon world. But he can't tell Mary that.
Right.
I think that's part of it, is the thing. Is like, what he wants is to survive, largely. And that eventually does get removed as a possible worry for him. It's like, oh, now that I have to worry about what needing to survive, what do I actually want? What? Oh. Huh. And, like, I think part of what I'm looking forward to is watching Iruma trying to figure out who he wants to be. I think the more important question for Iruma, really, of the two, is who are you?
Yeah.
If I may steal something from Babylon 5. The Vorlon question is more important for Iruma, I think.
Yeah. What do you want?
The what do you want
No,
is...
the Vorlon question is
who are you?
Yeah.
Never ask that question, Eric. Sorry. But of course the demons ask, what do you want? I mean, duh!
Yeah, of course.
If you didn't get my references there, I'm sorry, you should watch Babylon 5.
I mean, you should anyway. It's a good show.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's an unappreciated sci-fi classic.
Yeah. I love the show. I love the fact that all the music in the show, within the show, the vast majority of it at least, is diegetic. Like, so, like, there's a musical thing. It's an actual musical number that the characters are actually performing, and it makes sense. It is usually makes sense in context.
Mm-hmm. Or
Even
listening to it in the background, or
right.
Yeah.
Even Claire's family's musical numbers, because they're bundles of chaotic energy, and their mom was an idol.
Yep.
Also, Clara can fucking rock a tuxedo. Jesus Christ, that.
Yeah.
Yes, she can.
When they do the fucking festival rampage song, it's just Aruba and Az are just sitting there like, what the fuck is what? Huh?
It's great. And there's Clara in her tux, looking great. So yeah, that's Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-Kun, and we all loved this show. We highly recommend it. Go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
No, it's on the list. Like I say, I'm planning on catching up with the sequel series as well.
So, Eric, have you decided what we're doing next?
All right. So I've narrowed it down to 3.
Okay.
It is Beastars, The Great Pretender, and Decadence.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll a D3.
Okay.
1 to 2 is Beastars.
Okay.
2 to 3 will be Great Pretender, and 5 and 6 will be Decadence.
Okay.
6, we are doing Decadence.
Okay, we'll be covering Decadence next. Wow, Eric chose a mecha show.
Is that
Kind
the one with the giant fist city?
Yes.
That's the one, the Giant Fist City, yes.
Okay.
So Eric has chosen
Actually,
a sci-fi, a surreal sci-fi epic with weird overtones.
Shocking, I know.
Yeah, it's this is totally not an Eric show.
Oh.
There's a city that punches kaiju. I mean,
It's a miracle we haven't done it already, to be honest.
it hasn't been out long enough for
Yeah.
for that.
Right,
The
yeah.
other options were the psychosexual furry show or the beautifully animated heist show. Like, all of these fit into someone's wheelhouse here.
Yep. So Decadence will be next, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. When we finish that, we'll be back with the next episode. Until then, guys, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed. If you're listening to us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment. You know the deal, guys. Anyways.
Feed the algorithm. Validate us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.